Hi all. I've been working in my garden recently, digging a section of border which unfortunately got left last year. And it's hard work. The ground is hard and dry and solid, and the weeds have had a year and a half to grow and take root. They've really embedded themselves in that border. And it takes time to dig out each root that has been left. Had I worked this border last year, it wouldn't be quite so difficult now. And I know that some of those roots will appear again. And it takes constant work to keep the weeds down. That's part of gardening. But my life is rather like this. I allow roots of negativity to creep in. And if they're not dealt with, they take hold and are much harder to get rid of. We all have negativity in some way or another. We might have thoughts about ourselves, negative thoughts about ourselves, or we might be judgmental, or have roots of criticism, or envy, or selfish ambition. Many others as well. I've just mentioned a few. But I have to deal with those roots in my own life, or they'll overwhelm me. Fortunately, I have people around who care about me, and they'll remind me from time to time that I'm allowing those negative thoughts to take hold. When writing about our spiritual weapons in 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 3 to 6, Paul reminds us that we should take captive every thought and bring it into submission to Christ. It's so important to do that so that we don't allow those thoughts to take hold. Bring them in submission to Christ. God doesn't want us to spend our time being negative. We need to learn to bring those thoughts to Him for Him to deal with. And just as my garden needs constant work on it to root out the weeds, so I need regularly to come to God for Him to transform my life. This is an ongoing process. It's not a one-off thing. Brian often quotes a saying, "Be patient with me. God has not finished with me yet." God is patient with each one of us, and He wants us to enjoy life to the full. But to do this, I need to submit to Him and allow Him to do the necessary work on me. God doesn't expect us to change instantly. It's an ongoing thing. In 2 Corinthians 3 verse 17 and 18 it says, "Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we who with unveiled faces reflect the Lord's glory are being transformed into His likeness with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit." We are being transformed. It's an ongoing process. Isn't it wonderful that God works in us? God is transforming us. God is changing us. I'm so grateful that God is changing me and making me into a better person, I'm sure. But there's a long way to go yet. But I pray that you will know the freedom that comes from submitting to God and allowing Him to work in your life. Bless you all.